early. Sometimes it's good to be early. But our show starts at a specific time. You should remember that. Let's get started then, shall we?
Dillon, I don't give a what you think about a co-host and freshen up my show.
It might not be flashy, but sometimes you just got to toss another person to make a statement.
My show's about the people's podcast. Everyone has a voice. I don't need a co-host. Go listen to one of the other 5,000 shows with a co-host because they don't have a mouth like the big guy.
Opie, are you a career killer with Tim Sabian, yourself, and many others?
Be myself. Never had real issues with those people. They just understood that I was a different bird. The rest of them, though, I'm like, oh, shut up. I'm paying your salary because the ratings are so good, so shut up.
Right.
Live from
Somewhere.
It's
Dillon.
Good whatever to you whenever you are watching this episode of Co-Host Auditions. I am your co-host, Dillon. This is my self-taped audition to be the second mic for Virgin at 41. This fellow popped up in my algorithm after I did the episode with King? Yes, King Nobody, the virgin who was quite old. I think this guy actually hasn't beat. I think King Nobody was 35, and I was a big fan of his. Maybe Virgin at 41 will be another regular in the rotation. I say regular in the rotation, but I have not returned yet to our friend King Nobody, and that sounds a little weird in my headphones. I tried to fix that beforehand, but hopefully that's just me being odd. Actually, I think it may be the AC not on. We don't have a very hot day, and since I've got a roommate here, I can't be like, hey, cut that off. Stop being so comfortable for a few hours while I play broadcaster on the internet, like Aaron Imholt plays broadcaster. So this is a good question by A. Smith, getting in here regularly. How is this dude's pheromone game? The pheromone maxer, Fluff Dumpster, he was doing more than dabbling, as he said, in pheromone maxing. And I think that this man isn't going by this strategy. He does look a little more well put together. Because when you pheromone max, you look like you are pheromone maxing. You look like you have not showered. So the BO maxing is not done by this guy. He is looking better than Fluff Dumpster. So hopefully what? I don't even know where I was going with that sentence. Wasn't going for a joke, so we won't send in Duke Phillips. That's just me stumble fucking all over myself.
I had a conversation with my friend not too long ago. Of course, he knew I'm 41. He knew I'm, a virgin. And I was telling him that, I'm okay with permanently being single, or I'm okay with getting married. Either one, I'm.
The bag in the background there, blowing in the wind, for some reason, is really catching my attention.
Good either way. And his response was, so you would be okay with dying a virgin? And I told him, yeah, I would be okay with that. Now,
and if Ray Pruitt stayed with stupid Donna Martin, he would not be able to be Ropey Pruitt. Actually, that's why he started cheating with Valerie, because she was all hot, had that extra thickness that she didn't have on Saved by the Bell. And I think it was an episode of 90210 that actually opened up with Ray Pruitt and Donna Martin rolling around in bed, scantily clad. And she's like, no, what? Why the fuck? Of course he went off and banged super hot Valerie, while boxer jaw ugly Donna Martin is like, nope, you don't even get the benefits of the physical part of dating me. Because my dad is the producer of the show, and he does not want to think of me in that light, despite the fact that this turned into a big old sex romp of a television show for teen girls.
I know to maybe majority of people, that sound like a bad thing. That sound like, oh man, that's cold blood. That's just messed up, dying a virgin. But my question is, why would that be a bad thing, depending on why you would choose to die a virgin? Let's talk.
Well, if you're like Elisa Jordana, then that is a plus. Very much like Todd from BoJack Horseman. Some people don't like to shoot ropey loads. That is just not their thing. And it was really BoJack Horseman that helped me understand what the heck asexual people is all about. So thumbs up to BoJack Horseman on being a good deep dive into mental health and helping me understand the non-sexual people are actually a real thing.
Talk about something. Let's get into it in this video. Let's talk about
sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Some things in relation to virginity, in relation to me being a 41-year-old virgin. Let's really have some real talk here.
You beat Steve Carell's character by a full year, and you're about 4 years ahead of King Nobody. King Nobody, he's going to ruin his gimmick. He's actually getting some traction on his channel, whereas Virgin at 41, 455 subscribers, and 14,000 views, nowhere near the traction that King Nobody got, the Ray DeVito of virgins. And I thought Ray DeVito was the Ray DeVito of virgins.
Some straightforward, honest, self-reflection, real talk. When somebody like myself, who's 41 and still a virgin, isn't getting sex, people automatically must, they have assumptions. They say, oh, he can't get sex, or something must be wrong with him. Let me just go ahead and clear this up. I mean, I've been offered sex. I had opportunities, multiple opportunities.
So asexual then? Because King Nobody, are we going to go down the King Nobody story? That's going to stick with me forever, of the fact that a lady pulled him into the bathroom. It was like, let's fuck. And he's like, there's people that'll hear us on the other side of the door. Let's not fuck. And he still hasn't.
Opportunities to have sex. If I wanted to, I could have had sex. I chose to pass on sex, right? And that happened.
What are you, Mario Bosco? You'd rather go and play the lamest version of poker possible than get inside a lady for $200 an hour?
Hypothetically speaking, because there are some people.
And because of inflation, $200 an hour is a bit more hard to come by than it was a few years ago.
Who may not be able to get sex, and they may be of a certain age, right? The thing is, why would you want to clown them for that? Like, how would that benefit or help the situation? Let's really talk about some things in relation to me being a 41-year-old virgin, right? An unashamed 41-year-old virgin. Excuse me. Look, one thing I want to say is that I know that in the society that we live in, right? Let's just be real, right? It's looked at a certain way to have sex already, right?
You did post-production on this, and you're still stammering over yourself as if you were me on a live stream.
If you having sex, if you been dealing with this woman, dealing with that woman, is looked at as, you get like cool points. Your social status is go up. You the cool dude. Yeah, blah, this and that. You the girl who can, who attract a lot of dudes or whatever, what have you. I'm not speaking against sex. There's absolutely nothing wrong.
Well, really, you can't speak for or against it. You can. I think I stole that pronunciation of again it from Jim Cornette. His language is seeping into my brain. I'm starting to listen to that fellow a lot more. But you're listening to me. Hopefully, you find me at least a tad bit as entertaining as I find him. And Luigi Greenberg pointing out that if he wanted to, he could have played for the Chicago Bulls in 1989, but he chose not to, very much like Virgin at 41, chose not to have sex. And A. Smith relating this to being rich. I could be rich if I wanted to. And BoJack Horseman is surprisingly full of good information. And for anyone who lived in the Los Angeles area, there are a ton more in-jokes that are for you that the rest of the public won't get, but still a solid show without those in-jokes.
With sex, right? The problem comes in when sex is misused, because sex have a purpose, right? I like to say this, and I say this in other videos that's on my channel, Virgin at 41. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook is on all those platforms. When you have something, whether it's sex, relationship, whatever, but in this case, we're talking about sex and relationship. That's what I do on my channel. If you have
Do you talk about your hobbies though, like Star Chunksta with his standing 130-year-old oak table? That is a nice little artifact you've got there, giving it a
something
refurbishment.
that has purpose and you can get pleasure from it, whenever you place the pleasure before the purpose, a lot of times problems will ensue. Because a
So you won't drop your seed unless you are impregnating a lady?
pleasure is just a feeling right quick. It just it don't pleasure.
So is Coke. You're starting to sound like Aaron Imholt. I did it. It was great for a moment, and then I didn't like it. Sex to 41-year-old virgin is like Coke to Aaron Imholt.
Isn't it can be shallow. It's just some pleasure right quick. But purpose is not shallow. Purpose is stability. Purpose can be the foundation of something.
You want to start in the shallow end, sir. You don't want to go into the deep end. But that's what he's saying. My first time, I want to get her pregnant, and then I want my second time to be getting her pregnant with my second kid. So I think we are finding out that you are very much like Todd from BoJack.
Other meaningful things in life, whether it's your life, people around you, somebody you're dealing with, other meaningful things in life are attached to purpose.
And a shallow orgasm, when you haven't been with anyone before, when you haven't been jacking it off, you should be shooting hella ropes. It shouldn't be trickling out like a little shallow stream, as Zombie Bomb is pointing out.
Pleasure, sex in this instance, is supposed to be the cherry on the sundae. It shouldn't be the main ingredient. But when you operating through sex with just pleasure, or with pleasure at the forefront, you make it the main ingredient. And a lot of things and I say this in other videos, a lot of things that
you would score 100% vanilla on the BDSM test.
That's going on in the world, that's a problem in the world, is because of out of control sex drive, the sex drive, okay, being misused, if we won't be real about it, right? Because we think about stuff like when you think about problems in the world, people
actually the sex drive being used and you not being in the driver's seat of your car, there is some type of allegory to be made for that you're not in the driver's seat with your sex drive there. So I'm going to have to pay attention. As Stelio points out, there are a lot of people shooting their videos from the passenger seat of their car. He isn't in the driver's seat of his car. So I do believe there are allusions to his actual life of sitting in the passenger seat rather than the driver's seat can be made. And this is his aesthetic. I chose 8x10s for my aesthetic in the background rather than a plain old white wall. And I had the puppets sitting around. So puppets, and my roommate volunteered his puppets. I think you need a puppet for the back of your car there. And or like my Roger Rabbit here, you could have your Garfield on the back. That could really spice up your studio.
People might say crime. People might, a plethora of different things that are problems, right? And you can blatantly see
plethora. My cousin made it a point to put plethora in every single college essay he ever wrote, and I took that from him and did that as well. Every single college paper I ever wrote, there was somewhere where you could have put a lot, and you could throw plethora in there instead.
See how those things
sound smarter.
So a problem, right? But the misuse of a sex drive, it get overlooked. First of all, because it's so normalized, that it get looked at as just no big issue. But a lot of the issues in the world, first, everything starts, all those people who might be criminals or whatever other problem you're talking about, first of all, they have to start off in someone's family, right?
Well, a law, Husey Entertainment saying a lawsuit is incoming. That's the only thing incoming with this guy. Well, he's not outcoming either. Lawsuits are the only thing incoming or outcoming with Virgin at 41.
You got to have sex in order for this man-woman situation, procreation, to even take place in the first place. Now, if someone's been misusing sex, that family home right there, just like I say in a video called Dating Wars, start off the video by saying a lot of the problems that you see in this world that you complain about, stuff that you might see on the news, this and that and thus and so, a lot of them started by a man and a woman seeing each other, saying, nice to meet you, how you doing, exchanging numbers, and taking it from there, right? Because if you operating with sex at the forefront, instead of being purposeful about your sex drive, you're going to hear me talk about purpose and intent a lot. But
And a big old jump cut. Ropey Loads believes this guy is only incoming in a sock. I think he doesn't come at all. I think that he made some cumsies at one point, said, ugh, I don't like that feeling, and he went into the asexual territory.
if you operating with sex at the forefront, instead of being purposeful about who you're dealing with, why am I dealing with this person sexually? Am I just kicking it? Am I just trying to just get off? Is it just the social norm of the...
Yeah, getting off is pretty great. I bet you don't like drugs at all either. So this guy is lame. He would be the Aaron Himmel to of the group. Guys, we cannot be doing drugs and gangbanging. That's a lot of references I am making to this guy being very similar to that orangutan. Imholt.
The acceptable thing.
And it's also kind of a plug for my show tomorrow, the St. Cloud Moron Show, episode 9.
To I'm looking at this person, okay, we can get married. Their purpose align with my purpose in life, because it's that deep. Because when you just throw it around, that's how you get the broken homes. That's how you get somebody getting cheated on, somebody being heartbroken, STDs, teen pregnant. So
your father ruined your marriage and his presence in your life by fucking around, didn't he? This is trauma that you cannot have sex ever.
When you clown,
manifested into this.
Somebody who might not be able to get sex, and that's why they're a virgin, or if somebody might look at me and automatically assume something and say, oh, he's a 41-year-old virgin, and you frown upon that, you're frowning upon all that purpose. Because I'm doing it. The reason why I could.
But you're not doing it.
Have had sex. I'm purposeful. I'm trying to be purposeful about my sex.
I could have won an Emmy.
About my sex drive, who I link up with, because I know that sex drive and it's the purposeful part. Okay,
so all my tips on getting an escort does seem to be absolutely moot on this guy, because it's just wasteful to drop his seed on someone. What are you spending your money on? Because if you're not spending your money on dates, that is your escort money. You just save up 2-3 weeks of what would be date money, and that's your escort money.
Part of it has other much more meaningful.
And don't touch her wee-wee in that time. You want to give her a nice little blast. You don't want one of those little spurty blasts, because then you won't feel like you got your money's worth. And for someone whose wee-wee isn't touched often, you might want to go for one of the 2-pop service types of girls. Some ladies, you'll buy the hour, and once you pop, you're done. And others, it can be negotiated. All right, this first pop is going to be really quick, and I've still got another 55 minutes after that.
Meaningful things in this society that we have to live in attached to it, like the raising of a kid, and what happens when that family structure is broken. See, y'all seen the end result of it, see it on the news and complain about it. Oh, actually, Ropey Loads, calling this guy a square is related to the video I have between this and the final segment of the Clown Ladies. About it, but let's talk about what started it. So you
stay tuned for a square face.
Shouldn't, if you see somebody who's being responsible sexually, you're supposed to be applauding that, and you should really take a real self-assessment and look in the mirror, and we need to try to understand, why is it the social norm
take a self-assessment in the mirror like Richard Christie, who would blast his Ropey Loads on the floor while looking at himself and his Tom Cruise picture till his carpet was just completely crusty? No, I guess you're not looking in the mirror like Richard Christie did at all.
To do the opposite of that. And you keep seeing the results and complaining about them and wondering why it keep happening. This is one of the reasons why it keep on happening. And you do not have to be a virgin to recognize certain things sexually, right? You could have had sex 1,000 times, a million.
Usually it's the opposite. The non-virgins are noticing more sexual stuff. They've got more of an idea of ins, outs, especially the ins. The virgins have the idea of the outs, but it's the in, out, in, out, in, out that the non-virgins have the insight on.
A million times, and still acknowledge these things that I'm saying, recognize the things that I'm saying, and even speak out about them. Even if you in a struggle of
Thanks for that correction, Luigi Greenberg. It was Brad Pitt, not Tom Cruise, the other dreamboat of the mid-90s. I got the wrong Interview with a Vampire subject that Richard Christie had a poster of.
a battle with, trying to, be responsible sexually, right? You can still acknowledge, okay, well, he did make some good points. Or you know what, that is legit. Yeah, I co-sign that. That is right. That is legit. You can still do that. You don't have to be a virgin to do that.
What happened?
Speak out about it.
Oh, that was the end of the video.
Even if you in a struggle or a battle.
Damn it, Kitty. You got my attention all messed up and I messed this connection up. I blame the pussy for that. The same way this guy, well, he's not blaming the pussy. He is blaming society at large. Sorry for that little lull, folks.
Trying to, be.
I am playing broadcaster. I am not an actual broadcaster.
Responsible sexually, right? You can still acknowledge, okay, well, he did make some good points. You know what, that is legit. Yeah, I co-sign that. That is right. That is legit. You can still do that. You don't have to be a virgin to do that.
Oh, he's getting fancy with his intros here. He's got a bedroom there. I've got a drop for when I don't make a joke. I don't have a drop calling out the awkwardness that I do, because that was a bit of an awkward moment there I just had.
Not dating for 39 years. Let's get into it. Okay, firstly, just let me ask everybody this. If you okay with it, could you like?
Oh, look at him. He's got the Futurama language down. Let me axe you.
Subscribe and hit the notification bell. It'll be greatly appreciated and it'll really help out a lot. Okay, not dating for 39 years. Let me go ahead and start off by saying this, right?
So are you parallel parked here? We have some action in the background. He's not in a parking lot where all there is a plastic bag going in the wind. We have actual cars in action here where he's just parallel parked, decided to make this video here.
Right. I actually went on my very first date at the age of 33. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's something wrong with his math here. Our chat here, A. Smith and Stalio, already found some problems with his chat. 39 years without a date, and you had a date when you were 32. So this is just an outright lie of a title. 32 years without a date, and then you went another 41, another 9 years without a date. You broke your streak there. You are no longer the Goldberg of non-dates.
At 33 is the first time I had ever been on a date. It's definitely a to each his own type of situation. There's no right or wrong, Now, because sometimes when people hear something that's not typical or that's different,
he's confusing the age of 32 with the age of 2. You guys are correct there. He's no good at sex and he's no good at math. I wonder, maybe he's a great scientist. What class are you good at, sir?
different, they're associated with being wrong. But different isn't wrong, right? Wrong is wrong and right is right. And there's no right or wrong here, in my opinion. Is it to each his own type of situation? Now, another thing I want to say about that first date at 33, that is the only person that I have ever been on a date with in my 41 years.
Okay, this is frustrating the shit out of me. This 39 years without a date is completely inaccurate. You would have to live until you were 60, 72 years old in order for this. Come back and do this 39 years without a date when you're 72 years old, and then take it away,
1 year,
dummy.
And this is also the only person that I have ever been in a relationship with, right? And it was really more like 40 years without going on a date. And this is why I say that.
No, it was like 32 years without going on a date. You had a date when you were 33. Okay, you had a relationship with this person. I'm going to have to stop focusing on your goddamn math here because you got me yelling at you.
Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. Fix it, fix it, fix it.
Fix
your equation. Fix your basic addition.
Okay, me and this person, we dated from the end of 2015 to the end of 2016, right? So with that being said, that's literally 1 year, but it's 2 different calendar years, which is why I say haven't been on a date for 39 years, but it's really...
You motherfucker, knock it off with this date, with this year, your math. Lily Tomlin, do you have an opinion on this guy's math?
No! God damn it! You fucked it up! God damn you!
She is getting very frustrated with the way you are mathing as well.
Really, I haven't been on a date for 40 years. Now I know the next question people will probably ask is, well, what happened with the relationship? Why did it end? And the truth is,
she fucked someone else. I would not touch her nasty vagina because it's self-lubricating. Ew.
Being honest.
Are you a butthole guy? Are you maybe a homosexual? You're into buttholes only? That's something that it feels so good because it's so fucking wrong. It's not self-lubricating. It is dry, and you can just feel yourself. Let me not get deep into the sensation of butt fucking, so YouTube doesn't demonetize this video. But we are 30 minutes in. It seems like they only check the first couple minutes. I do have to go back to King Nobody and see what I said. That is the only video that YouTube was like, no, man, this is 18 and over.
I have my speculation, but I really don't know. You probably saying, well, how could you not know and you were in the relationship? Well, the truth is, she didn't really get overly specific as to why the relationship was ending.
She wanted to have some sex, and you would not give her the sex. And I see the George Costanza "Good night, folks," as Luigi Greenberg is pointing out. Wrong is wrong and right is right. Well, that sums it up. Good night, folks. I'm out of here.
But she did make it clear that we should go our separate ways. Now, honestly speaking, the reason why wasn't overly important to me. Not saying that it shouldn't be. Is it to each his own situation? That can help bring about closure. That can, maybe you can find out why, and y'all can help. You can fix things and this and that and thus and so, right? So I'm not.
So he was the Donna Martin, and she was the Ray Pruitt. He was the one saying, "Sex, I'm not so sure," and she was the one that was like, want to have a relationship, both mentally and physically. Touch me here."
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with wanting to know. I think the natural response is why. So I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to know the why. But to me, what trumped that was she made it clear that she didn't want to be. I mean, that she felt we should go our separate ways. I don't want to say didn't want to be, but that we
should go out with separate ways. The way you put that, she was talking about opening up the relationship so she could be with you mentally and get railed by someone who's interested in railing her. This is my emotional boyfriend. This is my fucking boyfriend.
She felt that we should go our separate
143. I love you, emotional boyfriend.
Ways. And my mind was, hey man, she's saying that, she feel we should go our separate ways. So let that be. And I was appreciative that she was straightforward and, let that be known instead of just stringing the thing along halfway being in a relationship. So I appreciated that. And
see, you want to string the thing along in the butthole so you can get it back. Because if you lose it in your butthole, then you got to go to the doctor, and they're not going to believe the horseshit story you have of how it got stuck in there.
This ended on very, very, very good terms. There was no bitterness, no harshness. I'm talking like it was so quick. Look, this how good of terms this actually ended on. Like I said, she was breaking up with me, right? But I can tell that it wasn't easy. You know, it was obviously really it was hard. I can tell it was hard, right? Although she's breaking up with me.
It wasn't hard for you here, and you are on an active road. You're going to have a police officer come up to you and just scream at you.
Pull over now!
That was a little too loud, wasn't it? And that's a drop I haven't hit in a while. That was a fun little news story of a woman finding her 14-year-old on the road, driving her other car and screaming, "Pull over now." And she got out her belt and started whipping him. That was a fun little news story.
I felt the need to say, man, you know, do you want to come inside and, you know, watch TV for the one?
She wanted you to come inside, but you would only come inside when you were procreating. Lame wad. And I do get a little intimidated. Not intimidated. I don't like the women with the breeding fetish because I don't want to breed. And that actually turns me off of like I'll be close. And it's like, nope. She's probably pulling a scam here. Don't work into her breeding fetish. Finish on her face.
One last time, you know, to help soothe the matter, right? She agreed. We sat down, watched TV, laughed. And, you know, we broken up now for maybe like 10 minutes, but you know, we broke up. And we laughing, joking, everything is chill. You know, that's how smooth the breakup was, right? Hugged it out one last time. Okay, we gonna give each other a final hug. Boom. We continued to talk after this. Now, we were still broken up, but we continued to talk for a few months.
Both Luigi Greenberg and Spurgsnake believe this guy is disingenuous. King Nobody, I have absolutely no doubt, is genuine. And this guy, you're right. There is something a bit off about this character. The same with Marcus Pork Jr. He actually has two channels, a Marcus Pork Sr. as well. I guess one of those is his backup account. That I'm like, I don't know if this guy is for real or not. And yeah, the smell test is a bit odd. It's as if he's a pheromone maxer, the way that this might not exactly be passing the smell test. And so I do have some video of his girlfriend telling him how she wants to break up.
My personal life is like at a 9, and my personal life is at like a 2.
And he was able to fulfill her wishes that her personal life be above a 2 and get that up to a 9 by not including him as a romantic partner anymore.
And I remember back then that I needed a little money for something, and we was broken up for months, and she actually still gave me the money for what I needed. That's why this was a very, very clean, cordial, unbitter break. So there was no harsh feelings or nothing like that, right? Now I know people will wonder, well, that was when you was 33, you're 41. That's an 8-year window. Why haven't you dated anybody since then? Because you say that's the only person you ever been on a date with. I will say this, like I said, it's not abandonment issue, it's a hardening of a heart because of what happened. And the reason why you know that for a fact is because before I ever dated her, I hadn't dated anybody.
That still kind of plays into abandonment issues from childhood. That's a big reason why I was able to get into polyamory much easier than other people, because of that childhood abandonment that still exists. As much as I can solve it, I feel very comfortable as not your number one, because I clearly wasn't my parents' number one when they were out after their romantic partners rather than their child. So let's get beyond that trauma dump there and back to this guy.
So the not dating was before her and after her. So it has nothing to do with that situation. Like I said, it ended as good.
And you're right. The Luigi Greenberg knows how that conversation started.
Hello. Guess who?
we do have quite a bit of footage from that breakup for just being introduced to this guy.
As good as a breakup can end anyway. What I will say is that this is more of a, you heard me talk about it in other videos, purpose and intent, right? Sometimes I talk about it with the sex drive. Sometimes I talk about it with companionship in relationships. You know, that's what we do on this channel.
You're in the passenger seat of your sex drive again.
Relationships and sex.
But he does spend that extra time of not fucking keeping his car very clean, or that's a brand new car. Look at how nice and shiny that car looks.
Yeah, it's just me being purposeful about who I share the companionship with, who I share the emotions with. That's it. Simple as that, right? And some people ask, well, what about talking? Do you just talk and chat to people? Even if y'all haven't been in a relationship or y'all hadn't even been on a date before? I really haven't.
Okay, you're not really keeping my attention with this video. We have 3 minutes left, and you're just not saying anything. The first video, you were actually saying something. This one, you're not saying anything. And the first video, you were talking about dying a virgin. And I guess we do know one way that you will not have, one cause of death you definitely will not have.
Computer sentences them to death by snoo snoo.
Yeah.
No death by snoo snoo for this fellow.
I haven't talked to nobody in that type of, companionship, sharing my emotion type of way. And I'm not speaking against that, because before you go on a date with somebody, before you can get in a relationship with somebody, you do have to do that, right? But no, I haven't done that. Honestly speaking, the only time I really done that was with her, and way back in high school when I was 16. Other than that,
did you ride the town bike too?
Hasn't really been.
I rode the town bike. I was a little weenie and wanted to keep the town bike in my garage. Dumb fuck.
Time, and I talked to the girl in high school. We didn't go on a date. We didn't end up being in a relationship.
Well, obviously he didn't ride the town bike. Did you walk down the street with the town bike, just carrying it rather than riding the town bike?
And we talked for maybe a month and a half, 2 months at the most. But that was about it. Throughout thus far up until this point, that's the only people I've talked to in that type of way, and it totaled about a.
Okay, we got 2 more minutes on this video, and this is really a whole bunch of nothing. We're going to go on to the next video, but first, we are going to hear what Arlie Ermy thinks of this guy.
Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister.
You've got an offer there, buddy. Come on. Go back to Arlie Ermy's house. He's got a sister waiting for you.
Do men and women...
He kind of looks like Common mixed with someone else. He does look like 2 rappers mashed up together here in this video from the passenger seat of his car on a rainy day.
Need each other. The reason why I'm making this video is because I once heard somebody say, I heard a man say that if it wasn't for sex, I heard more than one man say this. If it wasn't for sex, men wouldn't need.
Rewind, dude. Take 2. You are stumble fucking all over yourself in the first 30 seconds, and this is not a live stream. When I stumble fuck over myself in the first 30 seconds, it's a live stream. We're live, pal. Nothing I can do.
Women.
Maybe that is my drop for the awkwardness. Is the Psycho Sid interview? Let's do it again. We're live, pal.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can pay. I'm a man. I can take care of myself, pay my own bills. I mean, I can cook my own food. This and that, thus and so. So, I mean, if I can pay my bills, take care of myself, if it wasn't for sex, why would I?
Is that a gnat or a piece of dust that is just floating around? As much as you are keeping this car clean and have all the time in the world to get rid of little dust particles and gnats, that thing should not be there. Or maybe it's a spirit.
Even need a woman in the first place. And, when I heard that, it kind of got me to thinking. I'm like, women do say this sometimes. You got a lot of women who say, I take care of myself. I have my own car. I have my own job. I make my own money.
I have my own double-ended dildo.
My own place. What I need a man for? So really on the flip side of things, a woman, you know,
I just got a picture of him going all Requiem for a Dream with a woman. If you want to be with me, you are inserting this in you, and I'm inserting it in me.
Can and do say the same thing sometimes, right? So the question is, do men and women need each other? First of all, need is like a necessity. That's
Is like a necessity. I do like his tone of voice. Maybe he could read some audiobooks for me.
Need is a strong word. When you literally speaking.
Okay, if you're gonna over enunciate like that, I'm gonna take away my offer for you to read audiobooks for me.
I would say that if you're single, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like if you stay single, something is gonna automatically happen to you, and you're gonna not be able to function no more. Your immune system gonna shut down.
Okay, maybe this guy only had one video in him for me to offer my services at a second mic. We are just below 2 minutes in here, and I'm feeling like I was the last video of that's a lot of words, not a lot of substance. But another reason why you need a second mic is that you have so many things you're saying, but nothing that you're actually saying.
Down. So literally speaking, I would have to say, no, you don't need.
Literally. Do you come from the Vince Russo school of talk from how he wrote wrestling?
Right? But as far as the woman who would say, I already do this, I got this, I got that, I don't need a man. And for a man who would say, I already got this, already got that, I don't need a woman.
A little bit of Riley Martin. I do see that in there, A. Smith. You motherfuckers out there should be fucking nothing if you ain't got any purpose to it. The Toxicians will look down on you for only fucking for fun. The Toxicians fuck for reproduction, and they do not think that fucking for fun is something that should be done. They are going to take you out. Do not let the Toxicians know that you view sex as something fun. That is for reproduction only to those reptilians.
Woman, first of all, I would say most people who say that, they still want a man or a woman.
Luigi Greenberg pointing out he is correct. Need is a necessity. And you're right. You don't need a woman like you need oxygen and food. When you're right, you're right.
First things first, right? So if you're saying you don't need that, this and that doesn't, so why do you still want that, right? Secondly,
why do you need your car? You don't need your car. Why do you have a car? You could be walking and biking around.
From a natural point of view, right? We have nobody has to teach us to like somebody, in a romantic, type of way, right? You can be in kindergarten class. The first, you see the little pretty girl you might have a crush on. The girl see the boy who she think is cute, and she have.
Now I can't unhear it. There is some Riley Martin in there. Absolutely. I wonder if he does live streams and we can super chat him. Well, he doesn't have the subscribers. Like me, he is still short of the subscribers to monetize his channel. But I would love to hear him say, "You damn snuffleupagus."
Man or a woman.
Oh, looks like I jumped ahead. Gee whiz. Darn. Oh, well.
From a relationship point of view, those things is kind of, to a certain extent, superficial. I'm not saying like hardcore superficial, because like I said, you need those things, don't get me wrong. But to think that, that's the end all be all, and then you still gonna go deal with women, or you still gonna go deal with.
See, Riley Martin actually strung together words to make himself sound like he's smart. You've only said the same thing over and over again. That's why if I would have done more than preview these videos, I might have said, nah, I don't think this guy is good for a co-host audition, because you are good for one 10-minute video, but these second and third videos, it's just a repeat. If I wanted to repeat, I'd watch What's Happening on UPN in the afternoon.
With men. Now you just
I do love those old school theme songs. What's Happening and Sanford and Son both had really fun, odd theme songs.
is gonna do it with no intention and no purpose. Because
you said that. You've said that for 3 straight videos. That's why I feel no reason to go back earlier into this video that I accidentally skipped when I was trying to play. You're talking in circles.
Your intention and purpose is about these things that are in our modern society, which is not naturally connected to that inner romance that's in us, right? You need to, and I said this before, you're going to hear me say it probably.
I know. That's what I just got done saying. You've said it before. We've heard it. We've seen 3 videos of yours, and you've said it all before.
A lot more, and I'll say it again. You have to be intentional. You have to be purposeful about what you're going to do with your sex drive and what you're going to do with your romance and emotional feelings, right? Because those things play a part in shaping our family, shaping your neighborhood, shaping society in general. Family is one of the most important things on earth, right? It helps determine how people are going to turn out.
You needed to work on your thesis statement a little more. You're reminding me of Tara Mooney and her thesis statements not being very well supported, but I really enjoyed her rambling on and not supporting her thesis statement as well as she thought she was. Whereas I am not enjoying your ramblings as much after 3 videos. And Luigi Greenberg, the last time I actually remember seeing what's happening on TV is when we got a new UPN affiliate when I was growing up, and they had no money. And it was Sanford and Son and What's Happening in Good Times. They had to go out and purchase the catalog of older shows rather than the newer shows, which cost more money. And I do miss the days in which Comedy Central, that was a weird way of wording that, Comedy Central had no money. So we would get a Gallagher night once every 6 weeks, a Andy Kaufman night once every 6 weeks. Now they've got too much money. And, well, actually, networks are just degenerating into the streaming platform competition. So there's just South Park on for like 10 hours a day. There's Impractical Jokers on like 10 hours a day on True TV, when that was actually building itself up to be a nice competition to Comedy Central. And really, True TV, when it was Court TV, they just threw out the format of all their true crime shows, which has an audience. Investigation Discovery was like, ooh, you're getting rid of those shits? Come on over here, audience that you built up that they're now turning their backs on. Like a radio station changing formats. Hop Along Howie over on True TV did not keep that audience who migrated over to Investigation Discovery.
Who gonna live in this world, who gonna have jobs, who gonna shape views, who gonna have influence and this and that and thus and so, right? So you talking about societal things like money and I can clean up, I can cook myself. Man, they ain't got nothing to do with how you're gonna be purposeful and intentional about shaping the world with your romance and emotions and sex drive. Because that's going to help determine how.
I don't want to shape the world. There's too many people shaping it into a shitty position. I want to go off into my own little commune and just whittle that part of the world into what we like it. Come join the commune in Phoenix in a few years. See you there, fellow cult members.
How the world turning out. It just is. So yeah, go past that. Get intentional about your sex drive. Get intentional about who you give your romantic emotions and feelings with, who you share that with. That's of enormous importance. It is.
Okay. All right. One more. Dating wars. And then we will get to the Squareface segment and then the Lady Clown segment. as A. Smith has seen a bit more of the true TV shows than I have. Lizard Lick Towing, I never saw a single episode of. I think they also had the Meter Maid show. They had a Pawn Stars competition show, which was, I think that was Jersey. I remember them being much more low class than Rick and his crew in Vegas. Woo, production value. Nice. Do you have your foot on the brake pedal? It appears we have some red light emanating there, or is that coming from the overlay of the breaking news? Hardcore Pawn. That was the Pawn Stars competition.
A lot of the stuff that you complain about in your neighborhood or your community that you see on the news, drug dealing, killing.
All right, A. Smith is already in Phoenix. See you there in a few years. It's my friends in Long Beach that have the property. So bring yourself an Airstream. I do believe that they're getting a Wi-Fi connection there, so we don't have to rebuy all the physical media that we threw away over the years, except for Spurgsnick. He still has a nice little collection. So hopefully society doesn't break down for a few years while we live on that cult in the middle of the desert in Phoenix. And more information coming, because I don't own the property. I just have the people who are starting up that nice little commune in Phoenix.
And stealing, pimping, a lot of it started with two people saying, "How you doing?" to each other. Nice.
This seems like an older video. He doesn't have the sound quality. He's still in the passenger seat, but the lighting is too harsh. But he's got more production value in the breaking news segments. Let's see. This is from 4 months ago, and I didn't even look at how long ago the other videos were from. 134 views. That other video you had went much more viral, having 14,000 views. My top video has 2,000 views, so you're kicking the shit out of me.
Nice to meet you. I want to talk about how common it is to just see on social media or YouTube groups of men and women like going at it with each other, complaining about each other, dogging each other out. Right? Now,
unnecessary. You already had that audio drop of the breaking news. Is that audio drop just figured in with the looping graphic there? Are we going to get that every few seconds for the next 10 minutes? I don't think we're sticking with this for the entire 10 minutes.
You on whether it's man or woman. I think we all can agree sex, companionship, the feeling of giving love, receiving love, all of these things are natural.
Receiving love. See, he is totally in for his part of the double-ended dong.
Right? Nobody have to teach you that. They are just there. Now, a lot of the things that those community issues that you might complain about or feel need to change, and a lot of things that the men and women complain about regarding the opposite sex on these blogs and social media and YouTube channels, a lot of these things, I believe the cause of it is individuals, people.
Individualism is bad. You heard it here first. Damn it, I got the mirroring wrong again. So he's not parked. He has got his foot on the brake pedal, because we see the red emanating from this breaking news where his brake light is, but not this one.
We're grabbing a hold of those natural feelings and giving them purpose and intentions. And if you don't grab a hold of those things and give it purpose and intent, those things will
grab a hold of that thing with purpose and intent and shake up and down and use the other one to tickle.
Lead and guide you around and give you its own purpose and intent. And you could end up in situations with somebody that you probably shouldn't end up with in the first place. Right? That's why you gotta do.
I do have a lot of examples from growing up of so many family members being with people who they do not belong with and just sticking with it because familiar, I guess. And just going back to relationships that have failed because it's familiar. No, that's a bad idea. It failed. Move on. I do understand the frustration of finding someone new to put your wiener in, especially here in somewhere. I think I'm not living here anymore after my lease is up. The way that is just way more difficult than it should be to find someone to put my wiener in. I did. Who was the last one that wasn't a hooker? She was a bit crazy, too damn crazy, and I wasn't really attracted to her. But I needed to make cumsies happen, and she was offering up all 3 holes, so it was a thing to do at the time.
Do these things with a true purpose and intent, companionship and sex. And they do have a true purpose and intent, and I'm going to get into that. A lot of times the examples that you saw was people who never grabbed a hold of those things and gave it its true purpose and intent. And if you grew up on that and you never did it, they got some other people behind you looking at your example, and they're going to go up and do the same thing. The cycle going to continue. They're going to grow up and they're going to make their social media page complaining about the opposite sex. You know, if nothing don't change, nothing ain't going to change, right? See, the true purpose and intent for all this, well, let me say this first, because I think this is something that's...
I like my girls like I like my bowling balls, A. Smith. Heavy and 3 holes open for business.
They're kind of overlooked too. People naturally feel these things, desire for companionship.
There is a new video on eFucked of a side-by-side, a before and after porn stars got thick. And oh boy, Proxy Paige went too far, because I saw them show Proxy Paige when she was all thin. I'm like, I like thick Proxy Paige. And she kept going with that thickness after a while. And I didn't realize how far she went with that thickness. Oh, yeah, Luigi Greenberg, not returning to Virgin at 41. We will return to King Nobody. And, yeah, I'm going to stick with this a couple more minutes. I don't think this is going to be a 90-minute episode. You have me very close to tapping out. You just repeat the same thing over and over again. And it's not making for good entertainment. And how many subscribers do you have again? We have like the same amount of subscribers. Actually, you have more subscribers than I do after Fluff Dumpster ran off some of my subscribers. And I didn't even show the grossest video that I saw Moist Critical cover. I didn't expect Fluff Dumpster to lick that dollar bill. I saw him with a dollar bill in the preview, and I was like, oh, let's hear this smelly man talk about money. I was not expecting him to lick up the essence of every woman that, or that lip smacking. But the grossest of Fluff Dumpster, I absolutely did not include, as some
Sexual
of the other
urges and
streamers and YouTubers
so
did.
But I would try, so you feel that. Now, I think what people overlooking is some things in the background that's automatically attached to those things. Sometimes people overlooking it, or sometimes people think they can indulge in those surface feelings that they automatically feel without these background things attached to it coming along. But it's going to always come along, like commitment, for example. I know people feel...
Fluff Dumpster absolutely was me doing a publicity stunt, because a lot of people are covering him. So I was like, Moist Critical and a bunch of other of the streamers are covering him. But yeah, Luigi Greenberg, if we didn't have our association together in the Ray Pruitt fan club, he might be leaving me as well of bringing up what that thing was doing.
People feel like they can have sex with commitment not being involved at all. I disagree with that. In some way, shape, or form, commitment will be affected.
So he's saying no on the escort, which we've said every video. Okay, a little more. We'll last a minute more, and then maybe go to the next segment, because none of these videos are unique.
Some type of way when you're dealing with that deep
it would be great if you were like unique and your stepmom opened up the car door and started beating the shit out of you.
Companionship or sex.
Every time I mention that guy, I've got to mention that. It's the most memorable thing that Saison Z, as Red Bar calls him, ever did, was get beat up by his mother-in-law.
Okay. If you have sex with somebody, let's say, you the type who just, stick and move. You ain't committing to nobody. You just gonna stick and move, and you can care less if you see the person again in life that you had sex with. Your commitment is still affected. This is how. If you used to operating in that sticking and moving on, just going off them surface,
Okay, something new. He is comparing sex to boxing. So let's see where Verdun Imholt takes this. And A. Smith and Salvatore are of two different opinions. A. Smith is frustrated to know that people like this exist. Salvatore, it's a work. He's gotten his virginity taken a bunch of times, I believe Salvatore.
His feelings and just operating there, it can
A gimmick which Salvatore is taking.
affect your ability.
Maybe I should go for that, because the ladies in Somewhere are as open to me as the ladies in Maryland were. That's why I have got to be done after this lease. As much as it's cheap here and it's a good enough city to live in, the ladies are just absurd. I've got to go somewhere with more weird ladies who are into weird guys and actually show up on the date. You fucking flakes. Flakier than Los Angeles, ladies in Somewhere. Fuck off.
To eventually commit to somebody. It can affect your ability to stay committed to somebody once you decide to commit to somebody. And even if you hook up, I mean, you're the type of person who's looking for something to go somewhere. You know, you're not just a sticker and a mover, but you just ain't never give them giving no true purpose in it.
If you dropped your load, you would stick there more easily.
Your companionship, your sex, you didn't hooked up with somebody who wasn't trying to do nothing, who wasn't trying to be committed. You didn't get.
Actually, if you hook up with a lady who needs to be committed, that is incredible sex. The crazier the lady, the better the bedroom experience. So someone who needs to be in a rubber room with one of those nice little Aaron Imholt jackets where it forces you to a straight jacket being an Aaron Imholt jacket. I like that.
And get the results you was looking for, and it can cause you a little heartbreak and start to affect your willingness to commit. See, the thing is, ain't no getting around that. Commitment is going to be a part of sex in one way, shape, or form. That's why no one should have sex with someone.
I hear what you're saying. I have heard this before.
I want a commitment. I want to give a commitment, and I want to have a commitment.
So that is someone on your level who wants to give a commitment and have a commitment. They don't want just this sex baby for you and me.
One who hasn't fully committed to them. Because, see, people will give up on on commitment. People do that every day. But people won't give up on sex, but will have sex without a full commitment. Even though commitment is sex, commitment is going to always be dragged along with it. So it's supposed to be done with someone who you have a full commitment with. And the fullest level of commitment that somebody could give to somebody in a romantic relationship is marriage. That's why that's the ultimate thing. That's why a lot of people have cause to pause when it comes to marriage. That's why a lot of people say, sure, I'm not just going to marry any old body. Because people know once you say, okay, I'm going to marry this.
I wouldn't marry any old body, but a rich old body, yeah, because that money is going to be mine when you kick off there, you rich old body. That can make up for you hitting the wall. As I've said many times, the 55-year-olds, not all of them hit the wall, but some of them hit the wall, and your body looks too old for me. But actually, if you're 55 and good health and rich, I'm going to have to wait a while.
I'm in.
And Luigi Greenberg has had a fucking enough of this guy, and I can see why. So I actually forgot the graduation episode of 90210 where Donna got drunk at graduation and wasn't allowed to walk the stage. But there were stairs getting up to the stage, and we know how clumsy Donna is around stairs. Getting her drunk as well, she could have had a major whoopsie. So they had absolutely all the right in the world to tell this drunk, clumsy stair lady to not walk the stage. The breaking news is the same as every other video. It's only slightly different. I'll give them that. This video, of all the videos we've seen, is slightly different, where the first three were the exact same fucking video.
Like, I'm marrying them. Yeah, she marrying me. We marry. I'm in. That's the highest level of commitment that you can give to somebody.
Mark Harris. I'm a gay papa. Oh, and yeah, apparently Martha Ray had a whole lot of money there because Mark Harris put in his time, and she was aware that he was out getting wang, right? I am a bisexual man. You're my lady, and I am going out with other men. So that is something that I've always said of bisexual people. If you're not polyamorous, then you're missing out on half the genitals that you really enjoy. Where I am not. Actually, that is something that could be getting me laid out here. There are more bisexual couples than I would have expected here in the middle of somewhere that are looking for a man to join them. And no, I am not going to be your lucky Pierre with a man and a woman. That's gay. The lucky Pierre with a woman and a woman with a strap, homoflexible, not homosexual.
Now, I know some people probably saying, well, no, you don't have to wait till marriage to have sex with somebody. I mean, okay, let's do it. Like, first of all, let me say this. Marriage is more than just a piece of paper. I don't believe personally that no one truly believes that marriage is just a piece of paper. Because if it was, people would sign it and just get it over with, and it wouldn't mean anything because it would be just a piece of paper.
This guy does go in the Jad T. Jones category of being the scholar of the simpletons. The scholar of the obvious, I believe a beloved chatter put it, where he has these epiphanies that are just common knowledge.
People know that when you sign that piece of paper, certain things come along with that, which makes it more than a piece of paper. Some people attach their freedom to signing that piece of paper.
We do need a whole virgin network of these people that the algorithm is sending my way. And the King Nobody, definitely the big star and the one that has more to say. Let's get all these virgins in a big old pile. And I don't know. I don't know what to do with them. I was going for a joke there, and Duke Phillips will not be happy with me.
Where's the joke? Sir, we're on the air. I know we're on the air, but where's the joke?
I don't know what to do with the pile of virgins I just made Duke Phillips. So, yeah, I was deserving of that admonishment.
That's why you hear stuff like, oh, man, this is about to be your last night of freedom when somebody about to get married. After tomorrow, that's it. You know, after you tie that knot. People attach their freedom to a piece of paper. So people don't...
Your phone's ringing. You got to vibrate there. It's not from a lady, but are you going to answer that?
I don't really believe that marriage is just a piece of paper. Now, the purpose...
Stalio has a joke for the three virgins walk into a bar. None of them get laid. The end. A very dry joke. I could see that coming out of one of the more dry comedians.
Of this sex drive, the purpose of this companionship is for family building. A lot of those issues in the community that I talked about, somebody, you see the end result of it. But like I said at the beginning, it started with two people saying...
It took a while for that sound effect of the breaking news to kick in. So this must be a big talking point that he wanted us to really hear him out on for putting that sound effect in there again. Salvatore believing this guy is a gay. He is an asexual, it seems. He doesn't like the sex at all.
Saying, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Can I get your phone number? Not really grab
a romantic shit. The way that phrase goes together. He's a God damn it. Fuck it.
in a hold of these sex drive.
Romantic, but asexual appears to be what he is.
And companionship.
Saying that he is a romantic sounds like he is a romantic and fuck you, word.
Saying no, you are going to be for commitment and marriage and family building, because that's what this is about. That sex drive and companionship can be great, powerful tools, or they can be very destructive, negative tools, depending on how they get used. The end result of you seeing a girl who promiscuous, a boy going
Nelly Furtado
in and out of jail, somebody pipping, a woman running men in and out the house because she trying to use people for money, a man just sticking and moving, hopping from woman to woman. A lot of that is a result of that stuff never being getting a grasp of and being used in its proper way. And you just seeing the end results. You see whole communities messed up, whole generations messed up from two people saying, how you doing? Nice to meet you, taking it from there and misusing companionship and sex. You see it. Like I said, on the
And then they reproduce and make many terrible human beings.
flip side of that, man, what if all these names
Okay, you actually are almost on the cusp of a point of two people who shouldn't be reproducing, just fucking and reproducing. You're almost at a point there.
neighborhoods and all these things, what if all these people had two-parent households? You can skip over somebody.
Steve Martin of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles would finally be satisfied with you, or he would almost be satisfied with you. You've almost got a point.
Having a void because one of their parents was around. You can skip over somebody, and we talking about two-parent households where people are committed, having sex with the person who they have the ultimate commitment with, which is through a marriage. And people being together that way and having kids and raising kids and kids.
Oh, you're really onto something. Play that drop again to let us know that this is important breaking news stuff here, man.
Those examples. And nobody cheating on nobody. Nobody running in and nobody in and out of the house because they already got the
Oh, he knows King Nobody already. Oh, all right, good.
person that they committed with. They using companionship and sex the way that it's supposed to be used for oneness and procreation and building families in each family.
He doesn't have a cross. The way he keeps talking about not dropping your seed for erroneous purposes other than reproduction, it sounds like a priest really got into you. A priest really got into you at a young age, didn't he, sir?
Is a neighbor and they build the communities, and you got two-parent household. You ain't got people doing this. You ain't got people sticking and moving. You can build a good, great, powerful community, or you can misuse it and build a destructive, negative community. And
sticking being dropping a load, moving being abandoning the family.
If nothing don't change, nothing not going to change.
Okay, we are actually going to get to the end of this one. It looks like 1.5 minutes, or are we? I could still tap out before the end of this 1.5 minutes.
Even if you've been doing it the opposite way for decades, it's still not too late to change, and it's definitely not ever too late to put somebody else up on the right way to do it and talk to them about the results of doing it the useful way and the misuseful way.
Hey, he's part of the Stutterfuck Foundation, like me and John. Come join the Stutterfuck meeting.
Like I said, you don't even have to take my word for it. What if somebody did it the way that, I was saying, one man, one woman inside of a marriage? Look at a lot of the things that get complained about on those blogs and social media channels and all that. A lot of those things can get skipped.
The words you're using here are fun. Twos, blogs.
Over if it was done that way. And a lot of those things get complained about because it was done the opposite way. So like I said, you see this play its own self out. This is not something that you just have to take my word for it and then just run with it. It's way more productive being done inside of that marriage. One man, one woman.
Oh, well, work is hard. What? Oh! They're getting closer all the time. All right.
Really, I should have played that Harry Shearer not paying attention long ago.
Saying I'm committed to each other. We in it to win it. We ain't dibbing and dabbing. I have a purpose for my sex drive. I have a purpose for my companionship. We gonna build.
Oh, dibbing and dabbing. You were so close to setting off the dabble alarm there.
Families, they gonna build their family. We build a community. We be doing it like that. That's how God would want it anyway. He put the sex drive and the companionship in us. He know how it's supposed to go. He got his purpose for it. See the invisible stuff.
That was my favorite part of all your videos, was the end of that. I was about to make a cum joke of the invisible stuff, of just saying it's not actually white. Have you seen it? And then the drop of the camera drop, the new version of the mic drop.
Stuff.
Okay, we are not returning to that man. He was not like our buddy King Nobody, who was a virgin that was fun to point and laugh at. This guy, if you're not even monetized, so no, I don't want your second mic position, sir. I've got to pass on it. And I lost the plot of what he was talking about as well. That's why we had Harry Shearer drop in and give his ahas. Yeah, definitely a boo to that man. Learn from King Nobody on how to get that gimmick going of being a virgin with or Christian, be a virgin with rage. That was entertaining to keep people on his every word for quite some time. Now, going over to TikTok for the second segment, a sexy clown coming up in the third segment. Well, really, the second and a half segment, going to the lady clowns, as we are going over to what is this lady's name? Zoe Bread Talk. So nobody wanted the Wang of Virgin at 41, and nobody wants the T-shirts by Zoe Bread Talk. And this is an oddball. She may be making more appearances with her bread face.
Part 2 of my least popular T-shirt designs. My hat is missing. Age, hat, height, it's a hat. This is when I lost my hat. It sold no T-shirts. By the way, I found the hat, and it's the only reason I'm obsessed with Copacabana. I heart undemolished buildings. This is when I accidentally demolished a power station. It sold no T-shirts. Will the real Father Christmas please stand up? This is when I went to some children's...
Okay, that is one that I could see selling a couple T-shirts, but this is the no T-shirts sold edition of Zoe Breadface.
attractions and interrogated a few people claiming to be Father Christmas. I think it was 4. They all...
And I'll have to keep track of my analytics and see how many shirts I sell of the Ray Pruitt fan club. I bet I get more sales than nothing.
Said they were the real Father Christmas. One of them gave me advice about how to install my carbon monoxide alarm. It sold no T-shirts. This is from when I got really into pyramid selling, but it wasn't pyramid selling, I was just selling pyramids. Sold no T-shirts.
That is a solid observation, Stallion 19. This is a permanent yeast infection, actually in the mouth, rather than the lady bits. The yeast infection does migrate down there quite often, but it's her mouth that has the yeast infection all the time.
T-shirts, and I also sold no pyramids. This is when it was International Cuddle a Chicken Day, and I went to a chicken farm to try and cuddle a chicken, but it wouldn't let me. I sold no T-shirts and violated 1 chicken. I need hot sauce because I am...
Oh, you sound like the Uncle Paul of chickens there. You cuddled it, but it really wasn't into it. These illustrations, you might need yourself a Luigi Greenberg, or at least this. I was actually talking to a lady recently who has a very cutesy art style that she isn't selling anything, and you are just the opposite. You have an art style here in this I need hot sauce because I'm cold inside shirt. That's a miss. This I need hot sauce is a major miss. The same with the pyramid design. You didn't really have it. Maybe this is all part of Zoe Breadface's gimmick. Is the sloppily done artwork.
This is from when I ate the hot sauce. It sold no T-shirts and I don't care. The colour blue ate my dad. This is when I went to IKEA and tried really hard to get a yellow bag because they only let you buy the blue bag, so I did anything in my power to tell them that I couldn't have a blue bag, i.e. said that the colour blue ate my dad, but they didn't care, so I just had to...
There is quite the backstory behind the color blue ate my dad.
Steal the yellow bag. Sold no T-shirts but got 1 yellow bag. Theft. It's Groundhog Day. What day is this? It's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. I wore this on Groundhog Day. It sold no T-shirts. It's Groundhog Day. What day is this? It's Groundhog Day.
And I have that 8x10. I don't think you can quite see it on my wall there. Well, actually, I believe it's the live in my corner there that's covering up that very design that I have hanging up on my wall. And she is creative. She does a lot with corks as characters, and she has a bread face. But unfortunately, all those ladies that are scantily clad, booby lady Sophia, just doing this, she's getting paid more than bread face lady and her oddness.
Hey, it's Groundhog Day. I wore this on Groundhog Day. Sold no T-shirts. Magic isn't real. This is when I went to wind up some magicians in a harmless fashion, but ended up genuinely upsetting many a magician, and now I'm hated.
And that is a very traumatized rabbit.
Community, and I'm
That's
glad
one of my more favorite of her designs, is the traumatized rabbit there.
I sold no t-shirts but gained about 30 new arch nemesises. Last and least, the Easter Bunny left me loads of little brown eggs. They taste funny. This is when I did an Easter egg hunt in a graveyard and found loads of eggs laid by the Easter Bunny, but they tasted like poop. So I left them behind for the children to eat instead because I have a good heart. Sold no t-shirts.
A solid poop joke. I think it's your design.
Sold no t-shirts. Poop.
But this has got to be a gimmick that she's doing. I can put up these shitty designs and they will sell them because they are pressed individually. They don't have any type of stock of these t-shirts. So let me see how many I can put out there and still sell none at all there on her. And actually, that was her own website. That was zoebread.com. That is actually not TeePublic. Well, maybe it is TeePublic or one like that that's actually pressing the t-shirts, but zoebread.com is her website. I wonder if she sells little cork characters, because she really likes those little cork characters. And now on to the lady clown of the day, Becca Lou. I don't know if I've featured her before. I've definitely dropped some of her pictures over in Discord because this is a lady clown that is absolutely stacked, and she has a great Instagram because tits.
Party cake peeps. I haven't had a peep in a while. There's only 130 calories in this whole container. These are so pretty. I love the packaging. And I love me a party cake. Open them up.
Oh, Stalio noticed the price on those. Yeah, $35. That's a bit much for one of the more expensive. Actually, that's probably the standard price for a WWE t-shirt at an event now. Whereas TeePublic, they often run the $16 special. So one of those shitty t-shirts you might be able to sell me on at the $16 special, but $35? Fuck no.
Open them up. Oh my god, that smells like cake batter. Whoa. Look at them. Oh. They're so cute.
I'm a-looking. And that is a really nice shot of the peeps.
Peepies. Oh, he's sticky. The chickie is sticky. It's got some little different spots and different colors.
Do you have another site where you get sticky on other parts? She does have that sexy type of sound as biting into that. I need to research more into Becca Lou if you let those triple Ds loose on another site.
Spots in different colors. It tastes exactly how it smells. A marshmallow, but it's cake batter. You can still taste the peep flavor, but it has that little like hint of cake batter. Yeah. For a peep, it's a 9.5 out of 10. And I had some gross peep before because they have some crazy flavors. Hot tamale peeps? Horrible.
I was unaware of all the different types of peeps that they have out here. One more by our clown lady, Becca Lou, and this is her regular clown makeup that she has on, and one of her regular looks of tits out.
So a lot of people keep asking me. So my DMs are just like filled to the brim of people asking me like what my favorite shaker cup is out of my shaker collection. So here she is. It's the G Fuel exclusive Rainbow Six Siege Rainbow is Magic Iridescent Shaker. Right now I'm actually drinking Gamer Subs in it.
I'd like to see that shaking a little more. If you're referring to my robot voice, that's just kind of the voice I have. Hipstar alive. That's what Honk the Clown believes it is a robot voice. Other people say it's a radio voice. So radio robot, I am going after the AI jobs of being a radio robot voice, while she is going after some OnlyFans bucks with them titties.
People keep asking me. So my DMs are just like filled to the brim of people asking me like what my favorite shaker cup is out of my shaker collection. So here she is. It's the G Fuel exclusive Rainbow Six Siege Rainbow is Magic Iridescent Shaker. Right now I'm actually drinking Gamer Subs in it.
Not a fan of the voice. I do have to get a little bit more into my radio voice to get rid of that nasally quality. And yeah, that is kind of annoying. The nasaliness. I should pay more attention to get that nasaliness out of the robot, the radio robot talk. So that was today's episode, and we are done for today. We had some boobies. I got someone texting me, and I need to get the fuck out of here because I got to go to work. I got to make some money. And if you like this, you can help me get this into a side gig. So whether I get monetized or not, I'm going down to part-time sooner than later. But like, subscribe, hit that notification bell Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. regularly. Be back to the Thursday stream soon. Tomorrow I'll be on with Annie with What Is This Game? It might conflict with coming on Lunchbox if DJ Electra is on there. So I will let her know soon if I'm not able to go on the show of Lunchbox tomorrow. But we definitely have What Is This Game with Prey, and I do have to get to the final push to get through a playthrough. Annie is almost done a third playthrough suggested by Spurgsnake, my regular host of the St. Cloud Divorce Show. St. Cloud Moron Show. Same show, different name. Divorce is over. Needed a new name. And dropping the divorce from the title did get less views. So could revert back to the old title, but it is not accurate to what the show actually is. So be back tomorrow. And Wednesday has turned into my big old streaming day. And TikTok Around the Clock will be back next week. And then once August hits, I will be back to 3 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And yeah, I did my little shill segment there. And I will be back 3 days a week soon, 2 days a week. Hipstar will give 50% off his How to Do a Show workshop. Don't worry, it doesn't jeopardize your spot on the stream team. But I do hate you now. Not a big fan. Some people are not a big fan. So thanks for stopping in, Hipstar Alive, and stop in again if you would like to take some more shits on my voice. And that is something not everyone. It's not for everyone. So we will be back tomorrow with a few shows. And you can come and give that a view and give that a comment of how much this fucking stinks, or a comment of how much you like it. That helps the algorithm either way. But I just gave away that tip for someone who doesn't like me, so now they're not going to help me with the algorithm by saying you fucking stink in the comments, because you stink comments help just as much as you are good at this comments. And enough with wrapping up. That is all for today. Thank you all for joining. Now feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LSMFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right to your honey with the right left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. Ellis, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky Strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a Lucky Strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a Lucky Strike.